The Dust Bowl. This is my podcast, and I'll be discussing the Dust Bowl and when it was, how did it occur, what were the effects, how did it affect the people, what were the end results, as well as the final solution, which is one of Roosevelt's New Deal, called the Roosevelt New Deal solution. The Dust Bowl was in 1930. The dreadful period lasted about a decade. However, the Dust Bowl long-term economic impacts carried out for much longer. This era was also known as the Great Depression. How did it occur? The Dust Bowl occurred in such a way that drastically affected many agricultural farmers or workers, if you will. This was an extreme period of storms that severely devastated the agricultural environment of the American prairies, with drought and farmers' failure to be able to maintain crops, plus the wind and erosion caused severe devastation for the crops. What were the effects? These atrocious effects of the dust storms caused many farmers to lose their livelihoods, as well as the prices dropped. Prices for crops fell well below subsistence levels. How did it affect the people? These severe dust storms caused many farmers to lose some of their only source of income. Many were devastated by more than just the dust storm itself. Many critters, such as jackrabbits, were able to come in and devastate the farmers' agricultural crops even more than the dust its very self. The Depression severely aggravated the plight of the dust farmers. What were the end results? The Dust Bowl negatively impacted many regions, such as, for example, 75% of the topsoil was blown away. Land degradation varied widely, as well as many other effects that were severely negative economically. Roosevelt's New Deal solution. However, Roosevelt's New Deal was one of the very new source of programs that was one of the end results of the devastating Dust Bowl. It helped provide public work, prospects, financial reforms, and regulations. The Dust Bowl was both a man-made and natural disaster. Beginning with World War I, American wheat harvests flowed like gold as demand boomed. Lured by record wheat prices and promises by land developers that ran follows the plow. Farmers powered by new gasoline tractors overplowed and overgrazed. The Southern Plains, when the drought and the Great Depression hit in the early 1930s, the wheat market collapsed. Once the oceans of wheat, which replaced the sea of prairie grass that anchored the topsoil into place, dried up, the land was defenseless against the winds that buffeted the plains. The Dust Bowl wasn't only just a coming of severe storms and a bad luck of unfortunate. It's not that it was only just man-made. It was just a mistake the agricultural farmers made that ended up almost causing them most of their lives. Many of them moved because not only of the Great Depression, but there was really nothing left for them. The dust itself, plus the economy being down at one of the lowest points in history, which approximately really was the lowest point in history, caused many people to have to move on. The federal government paid farmers to plow under fields and butcher livestock. Again, with Roosevelt's New Deal, the federal government purchased starving livestock for at least $1 a head. Livestock healthy enough to be butcher-headed, could fetch as much as $16 a head. With the meat used to feed homeless people living in Hooversville, the source